when he snapped the ball. And that's going to back them up even farther.
So going to be about 3rd and 19 now for Harding, deep inside their own territory. Pryor still in the game at quarterback. We've yet to see Cruz Ray on this drive. So Miles lonesome to the left, 3 receivers to Pryor's right. Takes the snap. Looks like we're going to have a little bit of a end around here. But Silas Thomas read that one perfectly as he has another tackle for loss in the backfield. That's going to back up Harding Academy even further. So it brings up about 4th and 28.
Yeah, with Coach Wilbanks and his defense tonight, they've now forced Harding Academy into desperation mode where they're trying to break out the tricks. And as disciplined as Valley View's defense is, they're not able to get anything out of that.
Here comes a flag, and that might be another false start, and it is. So we're going to bring up 4th and forever, 5 yards longer than the previous play before the false start. So now Pryor in his own end zone. And we saw this happen in the first half, a little bit of miscue on the snap, and Pryor barely got it off, so we'll see if they can have a cleaner operation here with this punt. Pryor is able to get it away. Good punt, bounces near the 50, takes a favorable Harding Academy roll. Blazers will get things started at about their own 37-yard line. And Mr. Coleman, I guess you could say quarterback / punters have done a great job tonight for both teams by really flipping the field.
Yeah, they really have done a good job of flipping the field. But in that defensively, your mindset is, okay, we're not going to give in and set up a punt return, give that quarterback a chance to get a look at us and see if they can take advantage of a big play. And in doing so, they're just saying, hey, we want the ball back, kick it away. We're going to play defense.
So Mallett takes the snap in the nasty package, fakes the move to the right. He's going to go to the left, and he has plenty of space, sheds a couple defenders, and big gain there on 1st down. They now have the ball inside Harding territory.
Yeah, and that's just a nice play call for a 20-yard gain, and that's really super counter. You're pulling all 3 H-backs in there. He gives a little bit of delay, lets those guys pull and wrap and lead up in the hole. And he gets a big 20-yard gain, puts Valley View into Harding Academy territory.
And Mr. Coleman, I wouldn't be shocked if Taylor Heineman spends the rest of this game on the sideline, just not going to risk any injuries and give Mallett some valuable reps.
Yeah, and I think Coach Riley and Coach Cockrell are content to just run the ball, run the clock, 4-score lead. Whether they score or not, as much as you want to mercy rule somebody and get the clock running, the most important thing is to get out of here with a big conference win. And, as long as they control the ball, control the clock, they're going to get out of here with that. So I think you're right on that. And just see Barrett Mallett, just run the ball, just keep the clock moving.
So Mallett did get a run there on 1st down for a couple of positive yards. He fakes the pass. Now he's going to take off running again. He might get about 1 there on 2nd down. Going to bring up 3rd and along 5 or 6.
And it's just tick, tick, tick. We get under 6 minutes to go in the game here. And, you're 3rd and 6. Really from this point, especially the way Harding Academy's had great field position all night tonight and hadn't been able to get any points on the board, you can run 2 plays to get a 1st down right here and try to close the game out.
So now Mallett in the nasty package once again. Then going to go with the hard count. See, gets in the final play call from Marty Riley. 3rd and about 6 for Valley View. King to the right. Mallett takes the snap. They're going to have a pre-snap penalty. We'll see if the Blazers flinched early.
And, they're going with super counter again there with all 3, tight ends in the game pulling and wrapping. Unfortunately, we had a little pre-snap penalty, and that backs them up.
So back them up 5 yards. Going to be about 3rd and 11 now for Valley View. 5:22 remaining in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, and I know Coach Cockrell's probably frustrated with, just getting a little sloppy here in the second half, but he's got to be pleased with the way, offense, defense have been really very good for most of the night, especially defensively.
So now Mallett takes the snap and runs right. He has some room in front of him. Good block by Manning. He's going to get past the 30 inside the 25, and he picks up the first down. Great job by those guys on the perimeter picking up some big blocks for their quarterback, Barrett Mallett.
Yeah, and just a big 25-yard gain on just, you're just running quarterback sweep to the strength of the formation. Barrett Mallett, Tyson, we'll do some math here in a minute. He could be, pushing his way up close to 100 yards.
So now Mallett looks over to the sideline. They're going to use every bit of the play clock they can from here on out. 4:30 remaining in this one. Valley View leads 27-0. Parker King out to the left. Davis tight to the line of scrimmage on the right. Nasty package still for Valley View. Mallett takes it himself, works his way forwards for a couple of yards on first down. Another positive play by the sophomore quarterback.
Yeah, and that's just another positive gain of 5 yards. And again, we're just ticking that clock away. And again, Coach Riley is just happy with the fact that he's running clock, keeping the ball in their hands. Nothing could go wrong. Let's just get the game to the house and move on in the conference season.
It's now under 4 to go here in the fourth quarter. Valley View still with the 4-score lead. Staying the same package with King out to the left. Mallett in at quarterback. Mallett takes the snap. Now he runs left. Has a couple good blocks on the outside, but good job there by the Harding Academy defense setting the edge as King's helmet flew off on the far side, so he's going to have to come out for a play, but it's going to set up third and manageable now for Valley View.
Yeah, and Parker King coming out of the game, his helmet came off, and the rule in the NFHS rule book is helmet comes off, you got to come out for at least one play.
So now 3:20 remaining in the fourth quarter. Third and very manageable for Valley View. Barry out by himself to the right, taking every bit of the play clock as it's down to 3 now. Mallett takes the snap and runs to the right. He works his way back inside. He's going to be close to the first down marker. Going to be about.
And they're going to give it to him.
So move the chains for the View. Now they can also get another first down before getting it into the end zone. So they're going to try to use every bit of this clock that they can with under 3 minutes remaining.
And score update, across town at Brooklyn, Jordan Stadium, Nettleton and Brooklyn still tied at 21 with 4:42 to go in the game.
So now 2 minutes and 40 seconds left. Mallett still in the game once again. So Mallett takes the snap and runs to the right. He's got a couple blocks on the outside edge. There is a flag down in the backfield as Mallett gets inside the 5-yard line, but this one might be coming back.
Yeah, unfortunately for Valley View, I think this is going to be a hold from the place that was thrown. Looks like the white hat's going to get them for holding on that.
So back them up, and we'll redo first down. It's going to be a 10-yard penalty, so Barrett Mallett and the Blazers. And looks like Taylor Heinemann's going to come in now for the Blazers and relieve Barrett Mallett. Mallett's been in there for a while in this fourth quarter, and this has been a long, sustaining drive towards the end of the game for Valley View.
Yeah, and just did some math. Barrett Mallett is up over 100 yards. He's got 16 carries for 115 yards tonight, 2 touchdowns.
So just over 2 minutes to go. Heinemann now in the game for the View. First down, 20. Ball just outside the 20-yard line. Heinemann keeps it, works his way towards the middle. He has some space. He's going to be knocked down at about the 15. So the Blazers get about 8 there on first down.
And that's that 1-2 punch we were talking about. Barrett Mallett had ran a few plays in a row. He's getting fatigued. Taylor Heinemann is a good runner himself. They bring him in, and he goes out and gets an 8-yard gain, and now puts them 2nd and 12.
So 1 minute and 36 seconds to go here in this fourth quarter. Valley View looking to close this one out in dominant fashion to get things started off in their conference home opener. Heinemann takes a snap, runs towards the middle, wrestled down by a group of Harding Academy Wildcats. So that's going to bring up third down, no gain. Looks like the Blazers will just have to run 2 more plays or so to finish this one out.
Yeah, next week, Valley View will travel to win another big conference matchup, and Harding Academy will have Batesville at home. Well, hey, Ryan.
Hey, it's been if you're a Blazer fan, a great night here tonight. You and Tyson did a phenomenal job, as always, on the call. From just start to finish, it's been all Valley View in this one and trying to put one last score on the board, right?
Well, I think they're looking like they're getting in the old victory formation right here.
You are correct, and they will take that final score then. Clock is steadily running out, 30 seconds to go, and they are lining up to shake hands. So, Randy, what a statement. I mean, we've done back-to-back Valley View games at Paragould where I felt like they looked a little sloppy. I feel like they responded pretty well tonight.
Well, there's no doubt they responded. And, when you struggle, you go with the strength of your team. And, we've talked about it the last 2 weeks. I think the strength of this team is the linebacking core and the defensive front of Valley View. You combine that with, obviously, an effective running game that Valley View has. They got 2 guys over 100 yards tonight with Carter Wallace and Barrett Mallett. Didn't have to use the pass tonight, but know that they can do that in the future. But, just relied on, good defensive play. Great job by Coach Wilbanks and good job by Coach Riley. And they get out of here with a win.
And we are trying to set up a couple post-game interviews down on the field as Clay Clayton, our camera guy, has been on the field all night. Has done a good job down there, and Tyson is trying to get an interview set up as well. So,
you could pick a handful of guys to get a player of the game tonight, but I think, we're going to see Tyson go down there and try to find him Corey Gamble, who filled in very nicely tonight for Luke Herringer at the linebacker spot. Ended up with 2 sacks, an interception, a big 4th down stop in the TFL. Good job on his part. And then, you could really go with Carter Wallace, which I think he will, and with Barrett Mallett. But Carter Wallace, who's the thoroughbred of this offense, he comes in tonight. Not only does he, have the big 73 touchdown yard run, he's got 2 touchdowns, has a big night for Valley View, and Valley View gets out of here with a big conference win. And you can look at this conference a number of different ways, and, Valley View continues to be the one dominant force in this conference. And we're going down to the field to Tyson.
We're here with our offensive player of the game, Carter Wallace. Carter, a dominant night for you, 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards. Just what was the offensive line giving you? Those boys did a great job up front.
Shout out to Coach Carter and Coach Riley. They're 2 of the best offensive minds that I've ever seen.
Yeah, and you had that one big run for over 60 yards, and you raced your way into the end zone. What was the key to getting that one all the way to the house?
Really my track speed. And the wide receivers did an awesome job just digging them out for me. I just took the crease and ran with it.
So now your team 2-0 in the 5A East. As y'all turn the page to next week, what can you build off of in these first 2 games?
Well, like Coach Riley was saying, we're streaky good and streaky bad at some times. So we want to keep the highs as high as they have been, but we want to raise the floor as much as we can.
So that's going to do it with our offensive player of the game, Carter Wallace. Blazers get the win 27-0. Thanks for joining us for 5A East Conference football on the NEA Sports Network.
So, Randy, that was obviously a good interview there with Carter Wallace, and we obviously would have loved to have had Nick on there as well. He had a heck of a performance and stepped up in a scenario that he's not always placed in, right?
Without a doubt. Corey, we've talked about the strength of the team being the linebackers, and, you go with Ryder Wooten and Rylan McNamee and Silas Thomas and Luke Herringer. Luke Herringer's out tonight. Corey Gamble comes in there and just says, hey, the standard for linebacker play is so high. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna fall into that standard and play just like everybody else. And he did a phenomenal job.
What's that old saying? It's always next man up, right?
Next man up.
And he did it.
And he did it for sure.
All right, well, we will be in Manila, Arkansas next Friday night in some 3A3 conference action. They will host the Harrisburg Hornets. That has been a kind of a heated rivalry over the last few years, and it's certainly one of those games that I believe that conference still takes 5. And so that's a big game to try to get to state playoffs, right?
Yeah, especially, you're still early in the conference season. It's just the 3rd game of the conference season. So all wins stack up to get you where you want to go in the playoffs. And, it's going to be a fun night going to Manila, watching the Hornets and the Lions.
Well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to tonight's broadcast. A big shout-out to Coach Ron Teat for allowing us the opportunity to come in and broadcast a game here at Valley View. Randy, bottom line is Valley View is still the team to beat in the 5A East, and until somebody else steps up, best of luck to them moving forward this
There's
year,
no
right?
doubt. And, you've just got so many things that you got to overcome when you play a Valley View team. You got strong defense, you got good special teams play, and you got a dynamic offense. And as long as they continue to take care of the ball like they did tonight and they have in the past, they're going to be tough to beat.
All right, well, I do want to strongly encourage Valley View fans, if they didn't watch the Ryder Wooten and Judd Miles interview at the half, it's one of the best that I've ever had the opportunity to do. Two very well-spoken kids. Again, thanks to Valley View for having us here tonight, for all of our sponsors. For Tyson LeBlanc, who has stepped in and done a incredible job, and
Phenomenal.
And let's make note, he is a senior in high school.
He is a senior.
And he's only going to get better. So
he's phenomenal. He does an outstanding job.
So for Tyson, for Randy, I'm Ryan.